Hello, everyone, and welcome to the next edition of the Train and Talk series. My name is Sinead from the team, and I am delighted to showcase to you Chartered Accountants Ireland training offerings. And today we are spotlighting in on the Certificate in Customs and Trade, and we have Tony Buckley, course lead, with us. Tony, you are so welcome. How are you keeping?
Very good, Sinead. Thank you. And you? All
I
good?
am I'm keeping really well, and I'm really pleased that you've had the opportunity to come on and chat to us a bit about the program. But look, we'll get to the program in a second. Let's get
Mm.
to know you a little bit better. So for the benefit of folk tuning in, Tony, would you give us a wee bit of an introduction?
Sure. Well, I spent about 40 years in the Irish Civil Service and retired in 2018 as head of customs at that time. So took a year out, which was very welcome and very nice. And then somebody persuaded me to get back into training in customs. So for the last 3 years, I've been running my own consultancy and training and having quite a nice bit of success with it. Increasingly, as we've gone on, the need for training has become um, much more pressing and has essentially taken over largely from the consultancy work because customs is just so complex and of course so vital now post-Brexit that the need for good quality training is just enormous. And back in 2019 or 2020, I spoke to the Institute, and the Institute was anxious to get involved ahead of Brexit at the end of 2020. So we put together between us a course that would be suitable for customs advisors. That is not so much the frontline people who are going to be filling out customs declarations, but the people, mainly chartered accountants, to whom people would come for advice, saying, you know, what is this customs thing? How do I do it? How do I handle it? And the advisor would need to have a good insight into just how customs impacts on business and would need to know where to go for the detailed answers to the individual questions people would have. So this course grew out of that, a way to give people a good understanding of just what customs is, how it works, what the law is, crucially, where the resources are, how you go about doing things in customs. And we've had quite a lot of success. We are now facing into our ninth delivery of this course. And the course, of course, has evolved over the period we've been delivering it, nearly 2 years now. And it now still has the same essential component of focusing on giving people an understanding, but we've hardened certain aspects of it in response to demand. And also what I found that we need, and have now made a part of it, is in addition to the 4 modules of the course, I also do, at no extra charge, a morning tutorial with the students to go through their questions and deal with the issues that they perhaps have specifically that might not be dealt with in detail in the normal course. So overall, I must say the feedback has been very good. We have graduated, I think, over 170 people now, and it's going good. I think for a lot of people, the key element of it, if you like, is the fact that the main assessment, we do have some multiple choice questions just to check that people are staying in touch with the material as we go along. But the main assessment is a case study that we ask people to prepare.
Yeah.
And that may be based on their own experience, or it may be something that they completely make up. But it takes them into the question of, for a particular business, in a particular situation, how would you apply your learning in customs? And our feedback is that the students find that extremely helpful because it gives reality to the teaching.
Absolutely. And that makes sense. And
Mm.
how is it delivered, Tony, out of interest? Is it all
It's
virtual?
it's all online. Well, Up to the present, we didn't have an option,
I
Sinead.
know, that's
Um,
true.
but in actual fact, it suits as well
Yeah.
because I'm based in Cork. Enrica, one of the other lead trainers, is actually based in Lithuania. She's a practicing customs broker in
Brilliant.
Lithuania, obviously experiencing some political turmoil at the moment with what's
Yes.
going on in that part of the world. But and she can participate. We also have had French and Swiss lecturers. So online makes all that possible. You know, I mean,
Absolutely.
you simply couldn't be flying people all over Europe to deliver a 1 hour lecture. You know,
Yeah.
it's just not practical. But online, that's easy. So not only do the students get the Irish perspective, and I
Yeah.
deal with issues around the protocol and around specific to Brexit and the UK, but they also get the broader European perspective on customs, and it gives a kind of a world feel because, of course, customs is worldwide. And I
Absolutely.
think you need that international leavening, as it were, of the material. You know,
Oh, adds so much value to the
it
student's
does.
experience and
It does.
learning. And in terms of the people who attend this course, I know
Mm.
you touched on it there, I suppose, as you were talking, Tony, but who attends? Who's this for? Who should perhaps be interested in this?
Well, the range of people initially, as I said to you, Sinead, we designed it essentially for chartered accountants and perhaps even student chartered
Yeah.
accountants. Um, but its appeal has extended, and we're now finding ourselves with people who are embedded in companies becoming more active. That is, many of them are accountants, not all chartered. You know,
Of course.
as you know, chartered accountants runs a very broad church, and they're quite prepared to welcome graduates of
Absolutely.
other organizations.
We open our door.
Indeed. But also, in fact, some business people. We have had a few trainees, people who find themselves perhaps as office administrators or office managers, and then find that the customs requirement falls on their desk and they
Yeah.
have no idea how to deal with it.
Yeah.
So we're getting quite a mixture. There's still, I would say, a predominance of people in the finance function in companies. We also get a few people from major accountancy practices, where those accountancy practices decide, I think correctly, that in addition to tax and other specialisms, they need somebody who understands customs.
Yeah.
So we are getting a good number from the major accountancy practices as well. So it's a blend, it's a mix, because at the end of the day, you need to have an understanding
Yeah.
of the subject, and that's precisely what we give. Other courses that I'm aware of, and indeed some courses I've been involved in for wearing other hats, as it were, would be specific to technical aspects of the subject. This is different. This is intended to educate, I suppose, rather than train, in the sense that it's meant to equip the person to go forward and find out more, and go forward and find the answers to particular specific questions.
Brilliant. No, it's good to touch on that, and obviously all welcome, as you say,
Mm.
across the business space. And I suppose maybe in wrapping up, Tony, we do these wee videos as a short teaser of what to expect. What would you say maybe to someone considering it?
I would say that whether it is exactly what you want or not in the course of learning customs, you certainly won't regret it. The feedback from our students has universally been that this is a valuable course.
Brilliant. Well, what a note to end on. I know myself, the feedback has been excellent. It's been a really popular course. So, Tony, thank you so much for coming along and sharing that bit of insight today. It's really, really valuable, and we really appreciate it.
That's great. Thank you, Sinead. It's a
No
pleasure.
problem at all. Well, folks tuning in, I'm going to pop on the next slide some more details about our upcoming dates. And until next time, we will see you soon.